Hey everybody, really excited to be here this afternoon with Don and Janet Miller. They are some of the folks who have driven more people to my OPTIYOU Wellness Summit than anybody I know, for sure, and I appreciate that from both of you. And they're trying to get a lot of their friends and family to come to this one coming up January 6th and 7th. And we were like, let's just make a video. So Janet's like, yeah, let's come over and we'll make a video about our results. And there's still time to get the early bird special until the end of this month, till the end of November.
And that's $600 off the price.
Yeah.
If you do it before December 1st.
So it is a big deal. So just real quick, Janet, you teach yoga. Give us a little bit of your background real quick.
So I've been teaching movement for almost 40 years, dance, gymnastics, yoga, and most recently Pilates. So I've been in the movement world for a long, long time. And this is my husband, Don.
Hey.
Don, tell us a little about what you do.
I've been in fitness and wellness, and I've been a physical therapist for 40 years. I'm a board certified clinical specialist in orthopedics. I'm also a fellow of the American Academy of Orthopedic Manual Physical Therapists and have a diploma in osteopractic and have a real interest in nutrition since I met this guy. I used to think I knew a little bit about nutrition and found out I didn't know a whole lot. But I've learned a lot, and it's really helped me not only physically, but mentally, and in many other ways as well.
And you're a strength and conditioning specialist also.
Well, yeah, I guess I am. I have been since 1987.
And you've worked with some pretty high-end professional athletes over the course of your career, too.
I worked in the Bulls training facility, and I was a strength coach for the Chicago Blackhawks for 1 year, and then a team therapist for the San Jose Sharks, and used to work out with some of the 49ers and treated a lot of them. So that was a lot of fun, but I didn't know as much as I thought I did.
Yeah, but I remember in your clinic in Shelby, you have a Jerry Rice signed jersey, if I remember right.
Jerry Rice,
So,
Ronnie Lott, Roger Craig,
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
They some pretty decent athletes you worked with.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
I just thought that was important to know the credibility of these two folks. I mean, they're very into health. They know a lot of things that I don't know. And then they have learned from me and I've learned from them. So that's what's cool about
We
it.
think so much of this guy that we paid to have all of our kids come through the program. Yeah. And I offered it to my 30 employees. I offered all of them half. I would pay for half of it if they went through the program because I thought it would make that much of a difference in their life because it's really impacted Janet and I, and we want to share it. I think people sometimes think we're a little fanatical about it, but that's okay because we are. It really works.
Well, because we feel so much different. So we took our first course with Billy, I believe in 2017.
Long time ago.
It's a weekend that is absolutely mind-blowing, and it will fly by. It's fun, you'll take notes the whole time, and you'll meet a community of like-minded people who really want to up their game mentally as far as trying to avoid Alzheimer's and dementia. And for me, it's about helping kids and grandkids. I taught kids for 25 years. I can see the difference in what kids are going through right now, and it's so hard to know how to shop, how to cook, what to eat, and who to believe. You know, when you're trying to figure out, it's so hard, right? So I've struggled with eating disorders my whole life. And each time I go through one of these weekends with Billy, this will be our 7th time taking the class, I learned something new. This class is going to have so much new information, and also I get a little bit stronger, I think mentally, spiritually, physically, and everything. With this guy by my side, I've been able to really overcome a lot of these eating disorders, and I'm proud because since July this year, I've been able to drop 25 pounds, and it's been very easy.
Whoa. 25 pounds of fat.
Okay. 25 pounds of fat.
25 pounds of fat.
With some of his new supplements and peptides and things I'm learning about, and it's getting easier and easier, and it's fun.
Well, you're not suffering, right? You're not suffering losing 25 pounds of fat.
Because the first thing we did was address my gut health. And after about 2 months of taking peptides to heal my gut, then we started adding in some supplements to help burn fat. And what's happened for me is I got way more energy, and when you have more energy, then you can make better decisions, and you can't out-exercise poor nutrition,
No.
right?
No.
So I sleep better, I feel better, probably easier to get along with at home, maybe.
I am too. It's not just her. But I would like to say that you know, I was in a pretty significant amount of pain. I've had a lot of injuries and surgeries and trauma from a car accident and sports, and one of the things that I've noticed it's helped to modulate my pain. And I really took an interest in it, not just for my staff and my kids and our family, but also for my patients. I had a lot of patients who are overweight and they just don't eat properly and they're in pain, and fibromyalgia, all kinds of
chronically inflamed.
Yeah, and if they would just
Inflammation.
make a change in their diet, it would go a lot further than the anti-inflammatory medication that their doctors give them.
Yeah. And you know, one thing I thought about, Don, when you talked about you offered it to your employees. The example that comes to my mind is Hunter and his wife Emily.
Oh yeah.
She had the ankylosing spondylitis.
Yeah.
Severe, ankylosing spondylitis, excuse me, severe pain, severe back pain.
Couldn't dress herself in the mornings, and she was only 25, 26
middle
years old.
20s, and she had, was it her knee that was swollen or?
Ankles.
Ankle, that was it. Her ankle was swollen. Wanted her to go on Humira, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Now she's off all her drugs, has 2 very healthy children.
Yeah.
I see her once or twice a week at the gym.
There's a lot of
She's
stories.
doing awesome.
You have a lot of stories
So
like
many
that.
stories
I mean,
like
you
that.
know, it's just great that they were gonna, I mean, that stuff would have really messed her up.
She'd never been able to have the children,
she
and that was one of their goals.
And she was healthy.
Well, she was a college athlete.
Yeah.
So one of the strongest ladies I'd ever met, but just in severe pain with the
Ankylosing
disease.
spondylitis,
Yeah, but then she was able to overcome it by changing her lifestyle with what we teach in the OPTIYOU program.
Well, and you know, I see a lot of people with type 2 diabetes, and that could be fixed.
Completely
Reversible.
reversible
Quickly.
if people will very quickly if people will listen.
And my sister has benefited so much from this program.
forgot about that.
She's got Crohn's disease, and this has changed her life. So thank you for that.
I forgot about Gracie
Yeah.
now that you say that. Yeah, how much her results were.
So a lot of us will be coming back to take the class again, and it's fabulous. If you've never taken it, it's the best gift that you can give yourself, your family, your kids, your grandkids, and I guarantee you, you'll come back and do it over and over because it is a lot. This is not just, hey, here's how to eat, here's a diet. This is not a class about a diet. It's about the entire medical system, big pharma, big food, and how to navigate that and really win and feel victorious over your life rather than helpless. And when I go to my doctor, I feel like I can have an adult conversation and ask the right questions and not just feel like helpless, you know?
So you're informed.
I feel
Remember, the
informed.
number one thing is be the CEO of your own health.
Because
Right.
a lot of times the doctors don't even know.
No, correct.
They didn't understand. They wanted to put me on statins, and I'm like, and they don't even know that it's insulin and sugar that's driving this thing.
Correct.
And you know, so you really need this information because a lot of your physicians won't have it.
Do you guys know what your blood labs mean when you get your blood labs
need to know.
taken? Like, you really need to know what those numbers are. And then you also need to know, like, if you're in the normal range, that might be sick. So Billy helps us navigate what is the optimal range for our
Right.
for our hormones, for our blood labs, for all that.
Well, and beyond, that's a great point, Janet, that I hadn't even thought about. The labs and knowing what really is optimal, because we base normal on the sick American today, the average sick American, and we usually don't get the right test.
Yeah.
We don't get the most important test, right?
Yeah,
like
I
we're worried
had to
about your
ask.
right. You have to ask for the fasting insulin, the CRP, the homocysteines, the free T3s. They're more worried about your cholesterol and putting you on a statin, which
It's
really has no
unbelievable.
benefit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that I love my doctors. I have great doctors, and in any kind of emergency, I'm going to run to you.
Absolutely.
But I go to Billy for everything else. If I get a cold, I call Billy. So I think this is about improving your immune system and just knowing how does this body work. We should learn that in school sometime between 1st and 12th grade, and nobody ever teaches us.
Well, you bring up a really good point, though. You said you can go to the doctor and ask the right questions, but because you're just an informed consumer at that point, right?
Exactly.
Rather than just blindly following what somebody tells us to do, and that includes what I teach,
Yeah.
is let's educate ourselves about it and let's have the data, the real data in
science.
front of us, and then we make the decision on what we think is best for each of our own situations. And that is truly being the CEO of your own
Well,
health.
and I will tell you, Janet does a better job of this than me because I've done so much reading and I just I get tired of reading research, but she studies a lot. Everything that we've learned by the people that are up on the latest research confirms everything we've learned from Billy. So he's got a lot of credibility with me, and that's not easy to get. And we don't get anything for doing this other than, you know, we're friends.
Yeah, right.
And we
Right.
love this guy because he's helped us a lot. That's it. And we encourage all of you to go out and do it. It's one of the best things we've done for ourselves and for our family. And it's just frustrating for me that more people aren't taking advantage of
Because
it.
this is your preventative care, right? And also he talks about the research and knowing the science and the research, but it's also very important to know who came up with that research, who paid for that research.
Yes.
And so we'll talk about things like, you know, what's happening in Congress, where is research coming from? And when you buy Cheerios in the United States, why are the ingredients completely different than the Cheerios in Europe? You know, so many fun things like that that you get to navigate and learn.
And one of the things that I think is super cool is, you know, we were talking or texting, and you were like, why don't we just make a video? And then you're like, well, Don wants to be in the video. I'm like, that is awesome. I mean, look, they're taking their afternoon to come here to make this video. They get nothing out of this other than trying to help other people. So, you know, you can still get in on the early bird special. We would love for you to, January 6th and 7th in Gastonia at the Prescriptions Plus OPTIYOU location.
Amazing, beautiful location, by the way.
And I will say this: if you do this and you listen to what Billy tells you and you stick with it, you look better naked.
He'll be in. He'll be in. But hey, another great thing, y'all, is you talk about that, but everybody that comes to the summit will get an in-body test, which y'all have obviously been there. It'll be your 7th time. Y'all have had a bunch. But we're going to measure your fat and your muscle, and more importantly, we're going to measure your visceral fat. And what you need to think of when you say visceral fat is fat we don't see, but it's the fat that equals diseases. So you can be really thin on the outside and really fat on the inside. It's called skinny obesity. So we really need to know our numbers so that we can make good, informed decisions on how to improve those numbers.
I think there's a metric that recently says that one of the biggest signs of overall health is your lean body mass.
Absolutely.
You know.
So yeah, not just fat, but how much muscle do we carry?
Muscle's your organ of longevity. And all my friends struggling with hormones right now, perimenopause, menopause, and all that, this is for you.
And for their husbands.
And your husbands.
Hey, and I just completed 4 courses this year in Utah, and the hormone information, even that I have been teaching, has changed.
Yeah.
No question. There's newer research, and that's part of the OPTIYOU program and why y'all learn something new every time.
Well, and that's
is
why
because I'm learning.
He's
That's why
always
you always
learning.
learn.
Right.
And we stick with that because we know we're going to get the latest information from him.
He is always studying, always learning, and I want to find out how his hair is growing back also.
Looking good.
Peptides.
Peptides.
No, I really, y'all, you can't imagine, seriously, how good these two have been to me and how much I love both of
we
y'all.
feel the same. Yeah.
I've taught this at his, I've taught the weekend at his clinic, I don't know how many times, a lot of times, and they just offered and asked for nothing. So it was really cool to meet people like y'all and become friends. And
well, we got a lot more than just nothing. I mean, our patients came.
Yeah,
some
I
patients
know.
came in, and we learned a lot.
financially, you weren't asking for anything.
No,
right.
no.
You just wanted to help people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Same as you.
Not
to help people.
Not a lot of people like that, though, is my point.
No.
So we encourage you to come. They encourage you to come.
Come hang out. It's January 6th and 7th. And on Saturday, it's pretty much all day on Saturday. You'll get so much information. And then on Sunday, it's what, in the afternoon?
It's going to be all day.
All day
We're
Sunday
adding
too?
2 new
Oh,
classes.
yay. Okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
even better.
Both days, all day.
My friends that are like, I can't sit all day. You won't. We'll be up.
No,
we'll be
no.
walking around.
Yeah.
We'll be eating.
It'll be interactive. Yeah,
It'll be
it won't be
fun.
just sitting and listening.
Cool.
So yeah, we look forward to it. We got a few spots left, so we'd love to have you.
Come on out.
Yeah.
Come out. Thanks.
That was fun.